This pot of gumbo was like a huge, warm hug from my mom. At least that's what it was like when I reunited with my love of gumbo for the new year. I used to make a big pot of gumbo every year for Christmas. I kind of made it my own official thing after moving back to Chicago from Long Beach with my boys. Early on, having a kid with allergies, I had to constantly expand on the basic cooking skills I learned growing up as my mom's sous chef, especially having a kid that was always complaining about not being able to eat what all the other kids were eating. Combining my love of cooking, books, and health, I was constantly researching recipes and food alternatives. Somewhere along the journey, nostalgia kicked in, and I was learning and recreating the authentic dishes I was introduced to during my brief time at an HBCU in New Orleans. Out of this phase, I perfected my personal recipe for jambalaya and gumbo, and they were both dishes that both the boys liked, so it was a win.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
Soon, making a pot of gumbo was my personal little tradition. I would bring my cousin a portion every single year and get her critique and always make sure it was still on point. I mean, there's nothing more perfect than a big warm bowl of gumbo on a cold winter day, especially in Chicago. I mean, I hooked it up. Crab legs, shrimp, chicken, andouille sausage, clams, mussels, you name it. After a while, it actually became the only thing that I was making for the holidays, with me working full time, raising two boys solo, and then throwing in my mom and her Alzheimer's into the mix. I was over the holiday pomp and grandeur. I was kind of lucky in the fact that everyone would go to my oldest aunt's house. And she didn't trust anyone, so she insisted on cooking everything. For a while, it was kind of a win win. After moving out of state to care for my mom full time and having to shut out a lot of toxic family members, holidays just weren't the same. And after my mother passed, they never really were the same again. Eventually, changing my diet was kind of the final end to the gumbo tradition. But over the last 3 years, I had to go on another journey of food discovery. And along the way, I've learned about plant based alternatives and not a lot of these so called processed plant based products that they're trying to push on us now. You have to look at your labels and, keep to a minimum the ones that you use. And as you see, I'm pretty much only using my sausage as a plant based processed alternative. I'm actually talking about the plants and herbs that make great alternatives to the unhealthy and meat driven soul food I grew up on. And honey, I used to be the chitlin queen when I was little, so I ate it all. Now, last summer, I had a craving for gumbo after I saw a can of vegan gumbo in Whole Foods, and I tried it. Mm-mm. It did not taste the same. So I decided I was going to bring back my gumbo tradition because I had learned a few tricks. I just had to gather the necessary ingredients, and that's not always easy living in a small town. Once I did have everything I needed, I decided that I was going to make it for the last day of Kwanzaa since my beliefs in holidays have changed. The wait was definitely worth it because, baby, all the flavors were hidden, and my boys actually liked it, even though they're still carnivores. So, if you ask me why I said it's like a warm hug, it's because it's filled with love and warmth. A love and warmth I haven't felt in a long while, and so that's why.